in silence. Nowadays, post-traumatic stress disorder, known as PTSD, is a disorder that doctors, psychologists, and social workers take very seriously. But one doctor here in Israel has made it his mission to help rid the shame and experience of sexual dysfunction among the majority of those suffering from PTSD. Here's more in my next report. The fog of war can cause physical, emotional, and psychological scars that could linger for years and even decades. But it's only more recently that a name and a priority were given to the debilitating condition known as post-traumatic stress disorder.
The S is stress, post-traumatic stress disorder. When we are in stress, our body secretes to the blood a high dose of adrenaline. And adrenaline is the worst enemy of the blood vessels. Dr.
חירותי is the head of the rehabilitation division of Rעות Rehabilitation Hospital in Tel Aviv. But in all of his years working with people recovering from their wounds, he found a niche that delves deeper into the trauma and shame of PTSD, and that is sexual dysfunction.
Sexuality affects everything. Sexuality is mental, sexuality is physical, sexuality is intellectual and spiritual.
Research in the U.S. has shown that as many as 80% of veterans with PTSD suffer from sexual dysfunction. Here in Israel, where military service is mandatory, nearly 10,000 soldiers have been wounded since 2000 alone. Now the Ministry of Defense recognizes and gives money to treat sexual dysfunction.
Yesterday I saw a patient that he wrote me an email 5.5 years ago and told me about his problem and how could I come. And I told him, do you want my secretary will call you? No, I will call her. It took him 5.5 years until he called.
Relationship and sexuality expert Вород has found a new sense of meaning.
I was shocked by how sensitive they are, that the minute you ask them what happened, they start to sob. It's so sensitive. And I was shocked how it can help them so much.
Dr. חירותי hopes that his holistic approach to gaining trust and subsequently working with wives and girlfriends will save relationships and even entire families.
Sometimes the beginning is only working on social skills. I had a patient that it took us half a year to work on buying flowers and giving them to his wives, and they were crying because father came home with flowers. Only when she got the flowers, she understood there is a change. And the next meeting, she came with him, and then we can start to work with the couple.
What the professor did is making a place for the women to come and talk about what they feel, because you have to acknowledge them too. They're married to a person who suddenly changed. To bring love and intimacy and active sex life together, it's wonderful, really.
And they hope this is just the beginning of healing many more couples.